Disclaimer: this video is based on publicly available information and aims to raise awareness about the tragic case of Sara Sharif. Out of respect for Sara's memory and her family, real photos of the victim have not been used to illustrate the story. Instead, artistic representations and visuals have been utilized to convey the narrative while maintaining sensitivity and dignity. On August 10, 2023, a 999 call brought police to a modest home in Woking, Surrey. It was a call that would forever change the town's peaceful reputation. Irfan Sharif's Sara father sobbed during the call as he admitted he had killed his daughter. Sara Sharif was just 10 years old, a bright, curious child who loved drawing and playing outdoors. Those who knew her described her as full of life and kindness. Sara was born in 2013, but her parents split in an acrimonious breakup soon afterwards, with accusations of abuse made against each other in a custody battle. Sharif had been arrested following allegations from 3 different Polish women, including Sara's biological mother, accusing him of domestic violence and making threats to kill. However, he was never formally charged. In 2019, the family court eventually awarded custody to Sharif, who had by then divorced Sara's mother and married Batul. Last year, the family moved into a 3-bedroom house on Hammond Road, Woking, with Malik and 6 young children in total. One neighbor described the family as unusually quiet and expressed uncertainty about how to describe them. Sara's friend mentioned that Sara was once very happy and outgoing, often telling her that she dreamed of moving to Los Angeles to become a model when she grew up. The friend also noted seeing locks on the bedroom doors whenever she visited Sara to play. Another neighbor reported never seeing Sara smile, run, laugh, or engage in any activities with the other children in the garden. Sara was often treated like a servant, seen doing chores like hanging up the washing and taking care of the other kids. On that fateful day, neighbors living near their small flat reported hearing shockingly loud sounds of smacking, followed by gut-wrenching screams. Inside the Sharif home, police found a tragic scene. Sara's body bore signs of trauma, and it was immediately clear this was no accident. Investigators uncovered concerning evidence, including signs of neglect and injury, painting a grim picture of Sara's final moments. Police discovered a 3-page handwritten note hidden under Sara's pillow, in which Sharif wrote, "Love you, Sara," and confessed to beating his daughter to death. In the letter, Sharif also stated that he had fled because he was afraid, but promised to return and surrender himself to face his punishment. He further explained that his intention was not to kill her, but that he had lost it. Sharif, his wife Baynash Batul, 30, and his brother McDonald's worker Faisal Malik, 29, along with 5 children, were captured on CCTV at Heathrow Airport, where they boarded a flight to Islamabad the day after Sara's death. Their sudden departure left authorities scrambling for answers. Reports indicate that in the weeks leading up to Sara's death, she began wearing a hijab, allegedly to conceal her injuries. She was also withdrawn from school in April 2023 after teachers noticed bruises on her face and referred her case to social services. However, the investigation was closed after just 6 days. One teacher recalled that when Sara came to school with cuts and bruises on her face, she explained them by saying she had fallen off her bike. The teacher described Sara as a very caring, confident little girl with the cutest, biggest smile who absolutely loved singing and dancing. Sara often spoke of her dream to win the X Factor. In her memory, the school has introduced a special singing award. British authorities launched an international manhunt, working with Pakistani officials to locate Sara's father, stepmother, and siblings. Meanwhile, the community in Surrey demanded answers. Detectives analyze evidence in their office, poring over photographs, forensic results, and flight records. Meanwhile, the public holds vigils and protests, calling for justice. The family's disappearance raises suspicions about what really happened behind closed doors. As more details emerge, the case divided public opinion. Was this a tragic accident or a deliberate act of violence? And what role did the family's culture and dynamics play in the events leading to Sara's death? Some speculate on domestic abuse and cultural pressures within the family. Others suggest negligence or an accidental injury covered up out of fear. Months later, authorities continue to seek justice for Sara. Her father and stepmother remain key figures in the investigation, but progress has been slow. A statement from the police reiterates their commitment to resolving the case, but frustration grows as time passes with no resolution. While in hiding, Sara's father and stepmother released a video statement referring to her death as an incident and expressed their willingness to cooperate with UK authorities and fight our case in court. On September 13th, Sharif, Batul, and Malik were arrested upon their return to Gatwick Airport. They all pleaded not guilty to charges of murder and an alternative charge of causing or allowing the death of a child. During the inquest, it was revealed that Sara had suffered over 70 injuries, including probable human bite marks, 25 fractures, and bleeding on her brain. The cause of death was determined to be complications arising from multiple injuries and neglect. Prosecutors argued that all the adults in the household were collectively responsible for Sara's death, asserting that such an extensive campaign of abuse could not have been carried out by one or two individuals without the complicity or assistance of the others. Furthermore, none of them took any action to prevent or stop the abuse. Sharif initially claimed that all the abuse occurred while he was at work, placing the blame on his evil and psycho wife. However, prosecutors argued that Sara was vulnerable and a victim of honor-based abuse. This led to a shocking confession in the witness box, where Sharif admitted to killing his daughter through severe physical abuse. Sharif told the jury he had beaten Sara with a cricket bat while she was bound with packing tape, throttled her with his hands, struck her over the head with a mobile phone, and hit her with a metal pole as she lay dying. While taking full responsibility for his actions, Sharif insisted he was not guilty of the charges, stating, "I didn't want to hurt her." He also denied causing Sara's bite marks and burns. Both Batul and Malik declined to give evidence during the trial. Sharif and Batul have now been found guilty of Sara's murder. Batul could be heard sobbing in the dock after the verdict. Malik, however, was acquitted of murder, but found guilty of causing or allowing the death of a child. In response to the case, Surrey police announced that a safeguarding review has been requested. This review will investigate whether Sara was let down by the police, social services, the courts, or the education system in the months and years leading up to her tragic death. The tragic case of Sara Sharif underscores the critical importance of safeguarding vulnerable children and the collective responsibility of families, communities, and institutions to act decisively when signs of abuse or neglect emerge. Concerns about Sara's injuries were raised by her school and referred to social services, yet the case was closed in just 6 days. This highlights the need for thorough investigations and a proactive approach when addressing reports of potential harm to children. Teachers, neighbors, and others who interact with children play a vital role in identifying and reporting abuse. Recognizing and acting on signs such as unexplained injuries or behavioral changes can save lives. A review of the institutions involved in Sara's life, police, social services, the courts, and the education system, is essential to identify gaps and ensure such failures do not happen again. Strengthening policies and training for those in safeguarding roles is crucial. The case sheds light on how cultural factors, such as honor-based abuse, can contribute to silence and complicity in harmful practices. There must be greater awareness and support mechanisms for those trapped in such dynamics. Sara's story serves as a heartbreaking reminder that every child deserves protection, love, and a safe environment to thrive. It calls for vigilance, accountability, and systemic change to prevent similar tragedies in the future. As the investigation continues, her memory lives on in the hearts of those who loved her. We thank you for taking the time to watch this video and reflect on the lessons it highlights. If you found this story impactful, please consider subscribing to our channel and sharing it with others. Together, we can raise awareness about important issues and work towards a better future. Thank you for your support.